Have you ever wondered what God expects from you while you wait for Jesus to return? It's a question that many of us grapple with. In Luke chapter 19, Jesus tells a powerful story, the parable of the 10 pounds, that gives us a clear and compelling answer. He told this story because the people around him thought the kingdom of God was going to appear right away. But Jesus wanted to teach them about faithful stewardship during a period of waiting. The story begins with a nobleman who goes to a distant country to receive a kingdom for himself and then return. Before he leaves, he calls 10 of his servants and gives each of them a mina, which was a significant amount of money, roughly equivalent to about 3 months' wages. He tells them, engage in business until I come back. In this parable, the nobleman represents Jesus Christ. He has ascended to heaven, the far country, to receive his kingdom, and he has promised to return. We, as believers, are his servants, and the pounds or minas represent everything God has entrusted to us, our time, our talents, our resources, our influence, and the spiritual gifts he has given us. The instruction is simple yet profound. Occupy till I come, or as some translations put it, do business with this until I return. This isn't a call to sit back and wait passively. It's a command to be active, to be productive, to invest what we've been given for the Master's purposes. Now, the nobleman's citizens hated him and sent a delegation after him, saying, "We do not want this man to reign over us." This detail highlights the opposition and rejection Christ faced and still faces from the world. But the servant's responsibility remained unchanged, regardless of the world's opinion. Our mission is to be faithful to him, even in a world that might be hostile to his rule. When the nobleman returns as king, he calls his servants to give an account of what they have done. This is a picture of the judgment seat of Christ, where believers will be evaluated not for salvation, but for how we have lived our lives for him. It's a moment of accountability. The first servant comes forward and says, "Master, your mina has made 10 more minas." He didn't say, "Look what I did." He said, "Your mina has made." He recognized that the increase came from the resource the master provided. The king is pleased and replies, "Well done, good servant. Because you have been faithful in a very little, you shall have authority over 10 cities. Notice the reward. It's not more money, but more responsibility, more authority in the king's new kingdom. The reward is directly proportional to his faithfulness. Then the second servant comes and says, "Your mina, master, has made 5 minas." He too was faithful, and he too was rewarded. The king tells him, "And you are to be over 5 cities." Again, the reward matches the fruit of his stewardship. This shows us that God sees and rewards all levels of faithful service. It's not about comparing ourselves to others, but about being faithful with what we have personally been given. God measures our faithfulness not just by the results, but by our diligence and obedience with the opportunities he provides. But then a third servant comes. His story is very different. He says, "Master, here is your mina which I kept laid away in a handkerchief. For I was afraid of you, because you are a severe man. You take what you did not deposit, and reap what you did not sow." This servant's problem was fear. He had a distorted view of his master. He saw him as harsh and demanding, so he played it safe. He did nothing. He buried the gift he was given, hoping to just return it and avoid any risk. The king's response is stern. He judges the servant by his own words. "I will condemn you with your own words, you wicked servant. You knew that I was a severe man. Why then did you not put my money in the bank? And at my coming I might have collected it with interest." The king points out the servant's laziness and hypocrisy. Even if he was afraid, the least he could have done was the bare minimum. Because of his inaction, the king commands that his mina be taken away and given to the one who had 10. When others protest saying, "Master, he has 10 minas already," the king gives a crucial principle of his kingdom. "I tell you that to everyone. Who has more will be given, but from the one who has nothing, even what he has will be taken away." This isn't about earthly wealth. It's a spiritual principle. Those who faithfully use what God gives them will be entrusted with more opportunities and rewards. But those who neglect their gifts, who are paralyzed by fear or laziness, will lose even the opportunities they once had. Inaction has consequences. So, what does this mean for us today? It means that every single one of us has been given a mina from God. It might be a talent for music, a gift for teaching, the ability to encourage others, financial resources, or simply the time you have each day. We are not called to be spiritual hoarders, burying our gifts out of fear of failure or criticism. Think about your life. What has God placed in your hands? Are you investing it for Him? Are you using your time to serve others, your words to build people up, your resources to support the work of the gospel? This parable is a powerful reminder that our lives now have eternal significance. Our faithfulness in the very little things today determines our responsibility in the age to come. The parable ends with a sobering word about the king's enemies, those who rejected his rule. They are brought before him and judged. This reminds us of the reality of final judgment for those who reject Christ. But for us, His servants, the primary message is one of motivation and encouragement. Our King is coming back, and He wants to find us faithfully at work. Let's not be like the fearful servant who hid his master's gift. Let's be like the first two servants, who eagerly and diligently put their master's resources to work. Let's live with an eternal perspective, knowing that our labor in the Lord is not in vain. Let's take that command seriously. Occupy till I come. Let's do business for the King, anticipating the day when we will hear Him say, "Well done, good and faithful servant." Thanks so much for watching. If this study was helpful to you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What mina has God given you to invest for His kingdom? God bless, and we'll see you in the next video.